off for now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about the things we're going to learn today, okay? So that we all know what we're going to learn by the end of the lesson. So I'm going to write, today we are learning about. So there's going to be 3 things that we're learning about today. So I'm going to write 1, 2, 3. The first thing we're going to be learning about is called evidence. So raise your hand if you've heard the word evidence before. 1 person. Okay, good. Bye. The second thing we're learning about are going to be animals and habitats. Raise your hand if you've ever heard of animals and their habitats. Okay. The third thing we're going to be learning about is about observations Does anyone know what an observation is?
No.
Okay, good, because we're about to learn about it. So, like I said, today we are learning about animals and habitats. So our goal for today is to be able to identify the physical characteristics of different environments and animals to determine the habitats that animals live in. So that's what we talked about. We're using observations and evidence to learn about animals and their habitats. So during this lesson, we're going to answer 2 questions. And these might seem a little confusing at first, but as we go through the lesson, it'll make more sense. So the first question that we're going to be answering is, what are some of the different environments on Earth, and why do animals live in different environments? The second question we're going to be answering is, if you lived in a specific environment, what would your environment look like, and what kind of animals would you see there? So before we get started, we're going to look at what I have here on my board. Where are the lights for the room?
The red ones. The white right there. There's the red one, yes. Hold it down. Oh, there you go.
Okay, so over here I have something written. Does anyone want to try to read what this says?
40 stars.
Nicole, thank you for raising your hand. What do you think it says? Superstar points. And right here it says goal 40 stars. So during this lesson, I'm going to be asking you guys to answer a lot of different questions. So every time that someone answers a question that I call a superstar question, if you're the one that answers my question, you get to come up here and draw 1 star. And some questions are going to be harder than other questions, and so those might be worth 2 stars. So our goal is to get 40 stars by the end of the lesson. If we get good question, who asked that? So what happens if we get 40 stars? If we get 40 stars by the end of the lesson, Miss Emily will bring you guys a treat. Miss Nunez will bring you guys a treat.
Only one student?
If we, as a class, because we're a team, right? So if we as a team earn 40 stars, we will all get a treat next week. But if we earn 39 stars, nope, we have to reach our goal, okay? Our goal is 40 stars. So if I say this is a superstar question, that means if you answer it, you get to come up and draw 1 star, okay? If we get over 40 stars, we get a treat. Okay. So the first thing we're going to talk about is this word evidence. So has anyone heard the word evidence? So right now, since I'm facing up here, your body should be turned. You should be looking at me. So make sure your body is facing forward. I'm still waiting for Kimberly, Dominic. Perfect. Thank you. So who knows what the word evidence is? Evidence. So the word evidence is how you prove that something is true. What about if I say this? 2 + 2 = 4. What kind of evidence could I give you to prove to you that 2 plus 2 equals 4? Maria, you want to come show me what your evidence would be? That one might run out of storage, but as long as it's on the laptop, that's fine. So she's going to prove to us that 2 plus 2 equals 4.
2 plus 2.
Okay, so it looks like she might be drawing a number line. Is that what you're doing? Okay, cool. Okay, so explain what you're doing. So she started at 2, and then she counted 2 more. 1, 2, and you ended up at what? 4. So Maria just gave us some evidence to prove that 2 plus 2 equals 4. Evidence is how you prove something is true. So we're going to say that together. Evidence is how you prove something is true.
Evidence is how prove something is true.
Evidence is how you prove something is true. Evidence is how you prove something is true. Who wants to repeat that to get a superstar point? Evidence is how you what, Derek? Say it louder for your friends.
It means that you want to prove something that is true.
That you want to prove something is true. Good job. Who else wants to try for a superstar point? Maria, thank you for raising your hand quietly.
It means something is true.
You're proving that something is true. Good job. Okay, so today while we're learning about okay, so who remembers what this super long word is? It starts with Azim. Good. So it says environments of the world. Environments of the world. So these are the 5 environments we're learning about today. This first one says tundra. Can everyone say tundra?
Tundra.
This second one says grassland. Can everyone say grassland?
Grassland.
This third one says desert.
Desert.
This fourth one says rainforest.
Rainforest.
And this fifth one says ocean.
Ocean.
Raise your hand if you've ever heard of one of these. You've ever heard of tundra, grassland, desert, rainforest, or ocean. Nathan, thank you for raising your hand so quietly. Which one have you heard of before?
Desert and ocean.
Desert and ocean. And what do you know about the desert and ocean?
That there's mammals over there.
Ooh, there's mammals. What an awesome word. Come put a star up and tell me what else you know while you're doing that. The stars are on the back. So you said you know that there is mammals. What else do you know?
And there is, like, in the past, remember, there was Indian people, and then there was pyramids.
Ooh, in the desert? So he says he remembers learning about Indian or Native American people living in the desert, and he also remembers hearing about some pyramids in the desert. Let's see, Naomi, which one of these have you heard of before? Ocean, and what do you know about the ocean?
Fish.
There's fish in the ocean. Nice observation. Let's see, we'll take one more. Junior, which one of these have you heard of before?
About desert.
The desert. What do you know about the desert?
There is mammals, and sometimes you could get bumped by, those trees that look like trees, but they're not trees, because when you touch them, when you touch them, they spike, and then when you flip it over, it used to burn.
So, Derek, what do you think he's describing? What are those trees? He said it's a tree, but it's not really a tree, and it has spikes all over it, and if you touch it, it'll poke you.
It's a cactus.
Cactus, yeah, so you said that cactus are in the desert. Great observation. So it sounds like you guys know a little bit about some of these environments, right? So thank you. Keep your questions in your head. While we learn about these different things, I'm going to show you what we're going to be doing. So everyone buckle onto my brain bus. So that means if I ask a question, who's answering it?
You.
Thank you. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. You see how there's 5 videos up there?
Yeah.
So there's 5 videos and there's 5 environments. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're gonna watch one video for each environment. And while we're watching the video, we're gonna be using we're gonna be using our whiteboards, and we're gonna be recording our what? What are they called? Observations. We're gonna be recording our observations. And then when we're done, we have a super fun game that we're going to be playing. So we have all of these different mystery pictures. So we have a thermometer with some snowflakes. We have a sun. We have some seaweed. We have some grass. So we are going, after we watch the video, we're going to use our observations and try to figure out which pictures go where. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we'll do an example right now. So let's see. We have this one with the grass. Do you think the grass is going to go under the ocean?
No.
Yeah, probably not, right? So we're going to have to use our observations to figure out which picture goes where. Sonoran Desert. Can everyone say Sonoran Desert?
Sonoran Desert.
Okay, so we're going to be using our whiteboards to draw and write our what? Observations. Good. Okay, I'll know you're ready to see the video when you're facing the smartboard. You have your marker and whiteboard in your hand and your voices are off.
Why they color the planet Earth? That's ours. See, that's our family.
Okay, when you're all done, cap your marker, put it at your side. And that tells me that you're ready to help me figure out these new pictures. So this desert has 4 pictures. So this one has 2. See, 1, 2, and the tundra also had 2. Desert has 4. So let's see, Dominic, can you come up here and show me what you drew? Whoa, look at this drawing. Wow. So Dominic, tell me what this is in the corner over here. So did you see a sun in the video? Great job. So pick out the sun. Go ahead and put it on there. There you go. Okay. Thank you. Here. Who else has an observation? Who thinks they know what other pictures could go in here? You can go put the sun right here, bud. Let's see. Derek, yes.
The cactus.
And what evidence do you have that tells you that the cactus is from the desert? How do you know that's true? So we live in a desert, right? Arizona's a desert. Have you guys ever seen cactuses outside?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
There's spiky.
So you've seen cactuses in the desert before, right? Yeah, nice job. Here. Okay, there's 2 more that go under desert. Nathan, what are you thinking?
The temperature.
And why do you think this?
Because it's really hot.
How do you know it's hot? Like, because you weren't in the video to feel that it was hot. So how do you know that it's hot in the desert?
Because the sun is really bright and I said that it was really hot.
Great observations. Yes, Delay. Do you think you know what the last picture is? Squeeze it in somewhere over there. Good job. So we're left with a big, huge tree. We're left with a big tree, some seaweed, a wave, rain, and no rain. So if we think about the desert and we think about Arizona.
No rain.
Azine, thank you for raising your hand. What are you thinking? No rain? And why do you think that the desert, what makes you think that the desert does not have rain?
Because the sun is it's night, but when it turns to morning in the afternoon, the sun is still there, and in the morning the sun is still there.
So you don't see a lot of clouds or rain in Arizona? Good observation. Here you go.
There is rain.
Okay, so when we go back to our desks, we're going to be gluing on the sun, the super hot temperature, the cactus, and the no rain. Okay, so if you are from the green table, you can go start gluing.